Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that everything you depend on is gone.
No rain, no crops, no food, no clear plan for tomorrow. That's the world this story takes place in a time of drought, fear, and uncertainty. And at the center of it is a man named Elijah. Elijah was a prophet, which means he spoke messages from God.
He wasn't rich or powerful.
He didn't have influence or protection. What he did have was faith, and that faith was about to be tested.
At the time, Israel was ruled by King Ahab, a ruler who had turned the nation away from God. Because of this, Elijah delivered a bold message. There would be no rain in the land for years, except by God's command.
And then the rain stopped.
At first, it didn't seem like a disaster. But weeks passed, then months.
Crops failed, rivers shrank,
Food disappeared. A famine spread across the land. Elijah was not spared from this famine. He faced the same danger as everyone else. So God told him to go east, away from the cities, to a hidden place near a small stream called the Brook of Cherith.
God said Elijah would drink from the brook, and the ravens would bring him food.
Ravens, wild birds, unclean animals, an unlikely source of help. Yet every morning and every evening, the ravens brought Elijah bread and meat.
He drank from the stream day after day in the middle of a famine. Elijah survived. There was no abundance.
Only enough for that day. Elijah had to trust God daily, not knowing how tomorrow's food would come, only believing that it would.
Over time, the drought continued. The stream grew smaller. The water slowed to a trickle, and eventually, the brook dried up completely.
But this wasn't failure.
It was transition. God spoke again and told Elijah to go to a town called Zarephath.
There, a widow would provide for him. When Elijah arrived, he saw the widow gathering sticks.
He asked her for water, and she went to get it.
Then he asked her for bread.
She stopped and explained that she had only a handful of flour and a little oil. She was preparing one final meal for herself and her son. After that, she expected to die.
Elijah told her not to be afraid.
He asked her to make him a small piece of bread first and promised that the flour and oil would not run out until the rain returned. It was a moment of impossible trust. The widow could have refused. Instead, she believed. She made the bread, and the miracle happened. Day after day, the flour never ran out. The oil never dried up.
There was enough food for Elijah, for the widow, and for her son.
In the middle of a famine, God created provision where there should have been none. This story teaches us something powerful.
Provision doesn't always come the way we expect.
Sometimes it comes from unlikely places. Sometimes it comes one day at a time. When one source dries up, it doesn't mean God is finished. It means He is moving us forward. Elijah trusted God in isolation. The widow trusted God in desperation. And both were sustained. If God could use ravens to feed a prophet during a famine, He can make a way when everything seems impossible. Even now,